Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today we are going to be releasing not one, but two videos featuring the incredible Brent Smith. I have been oohing and awing and guffawing over Brent's voice ever since I first heard him last year. And you all recommended an acoustic version of one of Shinedown's songs that's going to let me zero in on his voice even more. And then right after that, I get to interview him. So I hope I get to see you in both videos. Let's start with the analysis video first.
Wrap me in a bolt of lightning, send me on my way still smiling. Maybe that's the way I should go, straight into the mouth of the unknown. I left the spare key on the table. I never really thought I'd be able to say I merely visit on the weekends. I lost my whole life in a different, and I've said it so many times. I would change my ways, no, never mind. And God knows I've tried. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say.
Wow. This was a really good recommendation from all of you. I love the way that we have his voice so clear in here. You hear all of these little tiny details that he pays attention to and executes so extremely well. And throughout it all, there's this continuity of focus in the sound combined with extremely good enunciation. It's really, really awesome. I love this stripped down version as well, like this darker piano accompaniment underneath. And I think his name is Eric Bass that's also doing the backing vocals. It's really cool harmonies. I'm going to go back to the beginning. I'll end up pausing a lot more and talking about all of these cool little things that he does. This is my first time ever hearing this song too.
Wrap me in a bolt of lightning, send me on my way still smiling. Maybe that's the way I should go, straight into the mouth of the unknown. I left the spare key on the table. I never really thought I'd be able to say I merely visit on the weekends. I lost my whole life in a different.
So he's really delivering a lot of fast words in here, but he makes the sound extremely smooth throughout. And that's very, very hard to do. You're trying to get so much enunciation out. It tends to chop out the sound. Instead, it sounds like he's really thinking about longer phrases with all of the fast words being like little murmurs that are underneath, but the line of the phrase is more important overall. On top of that, he is so smart about how he's voicing his consonants. There are moments where he'll do very deliberate slight slides in consonants, and there are moments where he'll place them perfectly on the pitch. It's like, I imagine he must have practiced this slowly or had very specific ideas about how he wanted to use those consonants. Consonants come in pairs of voiced and unvoiced. So a P and a B is a really great example of a pair of unvoiced and voiced. And B. They're both bilabial, so that means you make them with your lips. But the difference is that the B has vocalization, so the vocal folds go wacka, wacka, wacka underneath and create phonation, which creates a pitch. The P has no actual phonation, so there's no pitch that's associated with it. When you have a consonant that has a pitch, a smart singer decides what pitch that consonant is going to be on. So I'm going to go back and listen to how quickly this goes by. Listen to how he continues his line by pitching these consonants very deliberately.
Wrap me in a bolt of lightning, send me on my way still smiling. Maybe that's the way I should go, straight into the mouth of the unknown. I left the spare key on the table. I never really thought I'd be able They say I merely visit on the weekends. I lost my whole life in a different, and I've said it so many times. I would change my ways, no, never mind. And God knows I've tried. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt.
I am so excited to ask him about this mic technique and the way he's pulling away. He's very deliberate. I've seen him do this before. Very specific about various times he'll pull that microphone away from his mouth. My guess is he's essentially creating a sort of self-compressing, essentially trying to keep the dynamic equal in a lot of ways, but also he's bringing some extra effects into it too. I really want to know his process about how he decides how to use his microphone. That's going to be super interesting. I love that in the bottom part of his voice that he started off in, it sounded not truly bottom. It sounded kind of like mid-lows. There's just so much focus in the sound still. It's very present. We get all of the words. There's a buzz in his sound. You hear it. There's core in the voice. There's a lot of emotion in it. It doesn't feel like it's weak at all. And he gets up to his highs and you're like, whoa, it's powerful, but both of them had this similar strength. The top just expanded more and felt even more pull on it. It's really beautiful balancing of two different areas of the voice.
Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say, so I'll be on my way.
Ooh, I love the way he let air flow into the sound. He's so specific about his mic position. So I have to imagine that was very purposeful, that after way, he let air continue to flow in. Oh, really cool.
All that I can say, so I'll be on my way.
It's so cool. What a fun detail.
I finally put it all together, but nothing really lasts forever. I had to make a choice that was not mine. I had to say goodbye for the last time. I kept my whole life in a suitcase, never really stayed in one place. Maybe that's the way it should be. You know, I live my life like a gypsy, and I've said it.
Wow, I really like the distortion that he adds in his sound. It sounds so healthy, and it's very clear that he's able to add it and take it away. I definitely am going to want to talk with him about where he feels that adding and how he learned that as well. So many people think that when you have that kind of grittier sound in a voice, that it's not healthy, and that's just kind of an antiquated thought. It can be unhealthy. Some people will try to make distortion essentially at the true vocal fold level, which is not what the true vocal folds are really good at doing. True vocal folds should just come cleanly together and create a pitch. And then other areas in the vocal tract can be engaged to create distortion. And if a person is doing that and not putting the pressure for the distortion actually on the true vocal folds, then they're not going to damage the true vocal folds. So it's very interesting. I understand that some people might try and create it in the wrong spot first, though. That could cause damage, but that's not what we hear here. If he was doing that, you would hear in his main sound, the clean sound, you would hear so much more air and an inability to remove that grit. You would hear a lessening of the range as well. Obviously, these are not things that Brent is dealing with. He is able to add distortion and take it away and still have really, really clear focus on his sound. That sounds fantastic. Let's go back a little bit. Oh.
I finally put it all together, but nothing really lasts forever. I had to make a choice that was not mine. I had to say goodbye for the last time. I kept my whole life in a suitcase, never really stayed in one place. Maybe that's the way it should be. You know, I live my life like a gypsy, and I've said it so.
His mouth is moving so much, and it's so fantastic. It's one of the main things that I see in singers when they're starting out, is that they don't move their mouth very much. They think it's like speaking, right? It's not like speaking. It's elongated speaking. So you need to move your mouth a lot more. Just watch his mouth move in here. It's really exemplary of how much you should move your mouth. He's so detailed too about his cutoffs in this verse. I really like it. They're very short on purpose.
Forever, I had to make a choice that was not mine. I had to say goodbye for the last time. I kept my whole life in a suitcase.
Look at that mouth movement.
Never really stayed in one place. Maybe that's the way it should be. You know, I live my life like a gypsy, and I've said it so many times.
Nice harmony.
I would change my ways, no, never mind. God knows I've tried. Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same.
I love the good there.
Call me the worst. Tell me it's over, 'cause I don't want you to hurt.
Oh, that was such beautiful emotion in that line. Oh, I really liked the messaging in that. When you have a voice that's just like super incredible, like his is, where you've got so many great things happening, it goes to the next level when you have message and you have emotion, and you can feel the passion in his voice, and then that tenderness right there. I think it goes back to this story essentially of somebody who is having to break off a relationship or go away from it, even though they don't want to. It's really for the benefit. They know that it's not going to go anywhere. It's hurting the other person. You hear that torment inside of him and the regret in this last line. Oh, beautiful emotional connection. One more time in that area.
Tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Yeah. Call me your favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, 'cause I don't want you to hurt. It's all that
I can't get over how well that line is
call
delivered.
me your favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, 'cause I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say.
These words are amazing too, right? Call me a sinner, call me a saint, tell me it's over, and I'll still love you the same. Oh, like heart pulling, grasping. Wow. Really, really good writing. Just great delivery. One more time. It's really good.
Call me the worst. Tell me it's over, 'cause I don't want you to hurt. It's all that I can say. So I'll be on my way. I'll always keep you inside. You healed my heart and my life, and you know I tried. So call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, 'cause I'll still love you the same.
Oh, I love that run at the end too. I think that one of the things that's so appealing about his voice, additionally, is the way he's so centered on the pitch. And it's like when he's singing, like not only is the fundamental pitch, the one that the vocal folds are making in here, not only is that really clear and present and really well phonated, not just on vowels, but on consonants. But then above that, in his resonance, in the vocal tract on top, the way he shapes that, I hear an extra buzz above it. That if I were to take this and put it into some visualization of the entire sound, I'd be able to see overtones above it, additional harmonics essentially that are really bright and reinforcing that fundamental pitch as well. It all works together so that it's like you have this laser-like focus in the sound that is always, always present. that is hard to keep when you're moving through different vowels, different pitches. But he's trained himself and probably knows exactly how to shift like a little tiny tongue position so that it keeps that laser-like focus. Or as you go down in a lower note, maybe he knows how to shift the resonance and say, I'm going to focus in this area instead of this area, because I know that that will help keep that same buzz present. That kind of work is extremely detailed. Singers go through it for years and years, and they'll marinate on it. And I hear that presence always in his voice, which is one of the reasons why I'm just so excited to talk with him. It's fantastic, fantastic technique, a fantastic instrument.
My heart and my life, and you know I tried. Call me a sinner, call me a saint.
The way he gets hushed here is so emotional.
It's over 'cause I still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over 'cause I don't want you to hurt. 'Cause it's all that I can say. So I'll be on my way. So I'll be on my way. So I'll be on my way.
I'm going to go back. I feel like I almost wanted to just turn my vocal analysis ears off for a moment and just listen with the heart. He sings into the emotion incredibly well here.
Tell me it's over 'cause I still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over 'cause I don't want you to hurt. 'Cause it's
So on Hurt, there's a little tiny break that happens in his voice, and you can engineer this by doing things in your vocal tract very specifically, but I think that often the best way to bring emotion into the sound is to feel the emotion from the inside out, to really bring life experience into it. And I think that that's what's happening here. I hear just tons of little things that if a person were to try to put this all together in some sort of masterpiece, there'd be so many little tiny details that they'd have to switch here and here and here to make this emotion hit someone else. Instead, if you just feel it, a lot of those details will come into play. A lot of times our voices will naturally break when we're having an overwhelming amount of emotion. And so that's, to me, sounds like what's happening here.
tell me it's over 'cause I don't want you to hurt. 'Cause it's all that I can say. So I'll be on my way.
Same thing there. Oh,
So I'll be
That's
on
heartbreaking.
my way. So I'll be on my way.
oh. Is that really the end of the song? Oh, I need to hear a little more. This song, I just wish it were longer. One other thing I should mention before we go back and listen to that ending again, because it's so emotionally pulling. I want to talk about sitting on a chair. He's sitting while he's delivering this entire song here. And a lot of people ask me, is it better to sit or stand while singing? And obviously he's able to deliver a great performance while he's sitting. If you're sitting in a chair while singing, you can feel the bottom area of your support sometimes. You can kind of like through your butt on the chair. You can breathe and almost feel some of that pelvic floor support engage, which is the lowest area that you can really breathe into and engage muscles in to support the breath on the way out. It's not just the diaphragm, it's also the muscles below the diaphragm. So some singers really like sitting. And I personally also really like sitting. When I'm working in my recording booth, I'm sitting down. It also can be fun to stand. It can engage in a different way. Some people feel a lot more entire engagement through their torso when they're standing. So it ends up being a very personal choice. For some people, that also can help align the hips in another way, which will help give them more access to that lower breath support too. So ultimately, I find that people who don't have a sense of that lower breath support initially, standing tends to help a little bit more, gets them more actively engaged with their breath. But I know tons of professionals that actually prefer sitting to standing for singing support. And I'm very curious which one he prefers. Okay, we're going to listen to this last bit one more time. Just enjoy the emotion.
Call me a sinner, call me a saint. Tell me it's over, 'cause I still love you the same. Call me a favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, 'cause I don't want you to hurt. 'Cause it's all that I can say. So I'll be on my way. So I'll be on my way.
Wow.
So I'll be on my way. Mr. Eric Bass on the piano, let me!
His voice just hits me like a tidal wave. It has that focus and immediate present, whooshes over, and then I feel like I get lost in so many different wonderful details. The details of the voiced consonants, of this gorgeous line, and then this emotion and messaging throughout it. He's an incredible artist, singer, and I'm very curious about how he thinks about singing. I want to know more about his approach because it's so fantastic, and I think we could all learn from him and learn how to be better singers. So I hope you will all join me very soon, right after this, when we premiere the interview with Brent Smith. It's going to be awesome. Here's a link. I hope to see you there soon.